Well, Syria and the Arab Spring and its ramifications is one of the big topics at the World Economic Forum in Davos. And one country in the Middle East that finds itself absolutely caught up in all the instability, Israel, is watching events nervously. Apart from the turmoil in neighbouring Syria, Egyptians are celebrating a year of the revolution that ousted the long-term president Hosni Mubarak from power, leaving the Israelis wondering what an Egypt where the Islamists dominate politics will mean for them. Well, joining us now from Davos is the Israeli Defence Minister, Ehud Barak. Ehud Barak, so first of all, on Syria, country you are watching very, very intently. What is your assessment there? Bashar al-Assad's days numbered, and what kind of preparedness is Israel undertaking?
I think the Assad family, which reigned over Syrian iron fist for decades, is the whole Assad family reigning coming to an end. The views from Duma and Zabdani of the Syrian armed forces pulling out and leave it in the hands of the Syrian Free Army, that's something which was inconceivable less than a year ago. I think that the family of Assad deserves being toppled down by its own people. We are, of course, watching, not nervously as you mentioned, but cautiously what's happened there, especially looking at the possibility that there will be an attempt to move modern weapon systems, air defense systems or heavy rockets or other systems from Syria into the Hezbollah-held South Lebanon or Bekaa Valley.
All right, and the Arab League are asking the UN Security Council to back their plan. Is that something that Israel would support? And when it comes to any kind of international intervention or Arab boots on the ground, is that something you'd like?
I think the Arab League shows both courage, determination, and a proof of their sincerity and becoming a real player on the world arena. I don't think that Israel should express its voice about inter-Arab decisions. It would damage the possibility of the right actions to be taken rather than increase it.
And you know, for so many years, Israeli leaders have always said Israel is the only true democracy in the Middle East and so on. You must be pretty happy now that you're seeing these authoritarian regimes crumbling.
You know, it's in the long term, it's inspiring, even moving events in all around the Arab world, with these whole people standing on their feet, demand the basic rights which are taken for granted in UK and North America. But in the middle term and in the short term, it's going to be tough. I don't expect any kind of Václav Havel, a kind of intellectual or moral beacon to take over an Arab society. The Arab societies are not fully ripe for democracy as we know it in the Western world.
They get very upset when you say that, though. Sorry to interrupt you. Why aren't they ready? They get very upset. Is it because when you look at Egypt, for instance, you see that democracy there has an Islamist tinge? And just to finish this point, the Muslim Brotherhood say, you don't have to be worried about that. We're not anti-US, we're not anti-West, we're moderate, we're pragmatists. So why do you say they're not ready?
I hope, Ms. Badawi, I hope they will become moderate and reasonable. The fact that whole Arab societies might fall into Islamist hands doesn't bode well for the stability. I hope they will find that out of the need to hold their head over the water to provide new jobs for about 1 million new Egyptians per year and food for another million new babies will make them, taking into account all the fabric of international agreements, including the agreement with Israel, as well, of course, as the order and the law enforcing in Sinai. We hope that this will be the case, but I should admit we are slightly worried.
But just to reiterate your point then, you don't think that the Arabs are ready for democracy yet, because that's what you said, and yet on the other hand you said you welcome the fact that you're seeing these pro-democracy movements taking hold in the region. Can you really have it both ways, Mr. Barak?
Yeah. Look, it's different from country to country. I believe that the elections in Egypt were fair and reflect what the people voted. But I still remember the former President Mubarak telling me, you know, our societies are still tribal. People are following the voices coming from the heads of tribes and clans or other kind of associations, and that it's still a problem. You know, democracy is not just the right to vote. It has to do with human rights, with the opportunities for women to participate both in workforce and in society. It's about the readiness to hear other voices, to respect others, to respect minorities. That's something that I think will take some time, but we will not prejudge them, and we will keep hoping that everything will stabilize in Egypt. On the other hand, in Syria, the toppling down of Assad family will be a major blow to the radical axis stretched from Iran through South Iraq to the Damascus, to the Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. And I think that it's a positive direction.
All right. Ehud Barak, Defense Minister of Israel, thank you very much indeed for joining us live from Davos.